Hello, welcome. I'm Dipali Patel. I'm coming to you from New York City. I'm here to cover the International Emmy Awards, and I am joined by Ekta Kapoor, who's going to be honored tomorrow at the award ceremony. First of all, Ekta, welcome to India today, and congratulations for your award.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the congratulations and thank you for the welcome.
How many days have you been in New York, and what have you been doing?
I've been here for about 2 days and I have been just getting acclimatized with the timings. I'm pretty much jet lagging, and yes, I sleep late anyway, so it's easier. But yeah, eyes wide open for the awards tomorrow.
Okay, coming back to your award, what exactly were you doing when you heard that you're receiving this honor?
Actually, I got a call and I was told that I'm getting an email very soon, um, and the first call was done with my team because they were like, "We need to have a conversation. She'll have to attend," and the various do's and don'ts. And my best friend, come peer, Tanu, came to me and she told me that, I think something really huge is going to happen. And I'm like, what? She's like, I think they want to give you the International Emmy Directorate, which is one of the highest honors in television internationally. And I'm like, okay, okay. And she's like, you can smile. And I'm like, okay. But I'm, as a human being, I'm usually slightly, I take a minute or two to first absorb the situation and the news, and then process it and then make a comment.
Are you nervous, jittery, or has it still sunk in?
Um, yes, I am nervous. I am jittery because, first of all, you see, I come from uh, being behind the camera. I write creatively, I ally and overlook content, curate. And now I'm suddenly in front of the camera, so I'm being told, tomorrow what time you'll have to reach. You'll have to do your makeup. I've done it before, but to have the spotlight on me and then I have to be dressed up and then go on stage and in probably 45 seconds speak and thank so many people, it's just overwhelming, and I'm hoping I don't do it badly, but we'll know tomorrow night how it goes.
And what exactly does it mean to you? I mean, personally, if I talk about the honor, because you have had a remarkable career, and of course, you're getting this honor for the work that you've done over the decades.
So I said this to a lot of people that I think art and writing and storytelling has a far bigger impact than we give it credit. It changes mindsets, psyches, includes, creates a world of connection. And this international Emmys, I'm just seeing so many of, um, I would call them our people, but Indians walking around, finding that they've been they're doing panels and discussing, and no longer feeling like, oh, I'm not a part of this world, this international content making world, storytelling world. And now to be honored by this global platform, on a global stage, I just feel like a little overwhelmed, a little humbled, and I feel a little responsible actually, that now um, I cannot be taking this journey and um, this this voice I've been given lightly. I have to use it for the benefit of others, to creatively tell stories of people who aren't being heard, and to probably creatively ally with those who probably now need some form of mentorship or alliance. So I think I'm feeling a little more responsible. Yeah, and it's nice. It's nice to know that on a global platform, you being recognized for your work, And I just want people to know that I'm actually quite humbled and honored. My heart is full.
Absolutely, I can understand. Ekta, what is your secret to, keep going in this industry and being so relevant for so long? What does it mean to you? I mean,
I think your question is the answer. Um, Keep going. I don't think like I I'll tell you one thing. I'm giving this interview. In my mind I'm fumbling and I could be fumbling at points. And you have to pick up and start again. And it's as simple as that. There is no journey without blockages, without challenges, without your combative skill should be to navigate through that and move forward. And it's not that you can't take a moment to realign, to rework on the way you are, what you're doing, to rethink also. But from there on, move forward. Because standing there and feeling bad for yourself will achieve nothing. And there's only one way from down, and that's up. So, I mean, I've done this all the time. I've been at portions thinking, okay, I should give up. I'm no longer relevant. I don't think I belong anymore. My stories are old. And then something comes and I write it and it just works. And I get a few more years and then again that phase comes. So it's cyclic. And you have to know that while you have to be dispassionate when it comes to outcomes, you have to enjoy the journey far more. It's easier said than done and it'll bog you down. You will feel low at times, especially when you're constantly hit by failure. You feel you no longer belong and then you have to start again.
how do you deal with the criticism?
So I look at criticism. I'll be lying to say that I'm completely above it all, but I am quite above it all. So I feel at I work um, with a basic belief that there is an opinion, and I think I started young, so it came to me very young. Like I remember a friend of mine sitting next to me and saying that, I'm feeling so bad. I've really like got so much criticism on the internet over this, and I'm like, block yourself. And she was like, what? She's like, I'm telling you, plug out. Don't go to the internet for some time. It'll free you of a lot of criticism, and you'll just find pleasure in smaller things. When you're ready to look it up, go there, face it, and she's like, you're speaking like a pro. I said, I could do this again and again. I've done it so many times. And so, I mean, the criticism, if it's getting to you, block yourself out. They won't block you, you block yourself out. Take a little time to realign, repause. When it's hurting a little less, go back there. Read it all. Take what you think is constructive, leave what you think is destructive or demeaning, and then from there start it all over again. I've done it, I'm telling you. It's therapeutic also.
It is indeed. Ekta, where do you see film, television, and OTT going forward from here on to, it's already going global now. Where do you see it going in future?
I think we're very it's a, it's been long and it's been long overdue that Indians and India has got her due as far as her content on television or OTT goes and her storytelling goes. We are amazing storytellers. I know I'm going to be panned for this. We usually speak about Turkish, Korean content when it comes to how well they have broken out, but with the challenges we have had with as far as our budgets go, even the basic content cost and the audiences we deal with every day, which is more and more local. That's the way our economics work. We still manage doing far better work than a lot of people. We need to also, and that's constructive criticism, I think, move away with just making local content, but making local for global. And I think that bridge we're slowly crossing. Once that happens, and there's a little more um, economics around it work better for us, I think it's very soon you'll see Indian content, and I think the international platforms like Netflix, Amazon, Sony, Z is of course an Indian platform. The platforms are helping a lot because they don't expect long format to be 100 episodes. Long format is 6 and 8 episodes, and it's easier to finish a story and yet work on the aesthetics nicely. The budgets are better, so I think this is where our storytelling will find a place in the global stage.
Ekta, what is your thought process when you choose a story for an OTT platform or you choose a talent? For your films or your web shows, what are your thought process when you choose them?
You see, I've worked with a lot of young, new people on television.
Yes.
Sushant Singh Rajput, Ankita Lokhande. They all had come out of very little work before them. Smriti Irani. Um, Recently, also, a lot of young talent. I try to look at the story and how well an actor can fit into the role we've created. And it comes in, it's like a gut thing, a sixth sense thing, but it just happens naturally. On films, I try to see, and because you can innovate a bit there, I try to like not cast in a typical format. I've done it many times, even like with films wherein, like, we gave, we worked with with Siddharth Malhotra, and I think he got his first action outing with us in Ek Villain. Vidya Balan, I wanted her to be an item girl. I was like, I said, we always would imagine the woman to be extremely fit, but I want a buxom woman. I need to celebrate all kinds of shapes and forms in women because otherwise, that limiting body type just, I mean, personally, I find it problematic. And Imran Hashmi, we cast in Dirty Picture as um, an art house artist, and who does a lot of alternative work when he was absolutely mainstream at that time, And Nasiruddin Shah we cast as a megalomaniac actor who was gregarious and loud. So alternative casting for me has been always something I've loved doing. In films, it's limiting, but it's also easier because the medium allows it. Television, we go for fresher faces, and we want the character to live longer on screen. So we need it to be more about how in sync the character and the actor are, and it's always new people. So yeah, there are different ways of casting. Sometimes you just want to go for the regular, and sometimes you want to go absolutely opposite to what their current image in the world is.
Ekta, there was also one point in your life where we used to see all the series starting with K. I have to ask you that. What was your thought process during that time?
I mean, nobody will believe this, but it was my way of doing an absolute. You see, when we came into television, marketing was very nascent. How could you market something? Like, we had a lot of spin offs of our shows. Everyone was doing after Kyonki Kahani similar shows. And while they were doing similar shows, they were also trying to copy K. I was into numerology, and I was like, okay, I'm going to change the spelling. Slightly advantageous because I was able to push my way with the channels. I could spell my show the way I wanted, which they were like, this is sounding weird, but I'm like, let's go with the weird. And I wanted to keep all my titles with K because in smaller towns, how would I let people know this is our show? So if you see, and it's quite amazing that I feel that the Netflix sound and the Balaji sound is very similar. That darang, darang,
Yeah,
darang. Yeah. We had that darang, 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 and we made that our synonym. It was synonymous with us. Our swish pants and the title K.
Yeah.
So now what happened was you could get a lot of things like us, but the odd spelling, the K, the this, you knew it was familiar territory. It's their show coming again. Uh, in a very nascent world of marketing, it was our way of saying, okay, this is us. We were not, I mean, initially, though, they allowed the title montages, yeah, and with the logo of the production house. Then they started stopping that, and it was not even actors were named. Only producers' name would come. There were no title songs. Your name would just come at the beginning of the show. And I was like, okay, how are we gonna tell people? So then we started putting out like any K show is ours. And then those things really worked.
How do you think you're going to make the content, different from other OTT platforms so that it stands out like how your series used to be earlier?
So I'm doing shows for other platforms and working with them for the Urban Indian, and doing a lot of shows for Voot. Sorry, now it's Geo Cinema, wherein I'm trying to create innovative content for the slightly massier lot, because India now has a very clear demarcation of the very, very urban Indian and the very, very mass led Indian. Actually, for the first time till February, I was creating content only for alt, because that was my contractual obligation. I resigned from the board. I just own the company now, and now I'm creating content for other apps. And I think in the next few years you'll see some stuff from me, and hopefully we would be able to make a mark. Also done pretty well this year, but creatively I was feeling I was wanting to do other things, so I moved on.
Well, we wish you all the best for all your future projects, Ekta, and congratulations once again for your Emmy Award. And we wish you many more awards going forward. Thank you.
I am honored, grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.